Hello and thanks for joining us for the KREM 2 News Weekend Review. I'm Cody Proctor. Each weekend we walk you through the headlines from this past week in the Inland Northwest. Let's get started with one of the biggest news stories of the past few days.
As thousands of people fled their homes in northwest Spokane on August 1st, Kim Speedy says she went to her mom's nursing home near the Dwight Merkel Sports Complex and helped wheel her mom's hospital bed into the parking lot as they waited for a ride to safety.
I mean, the sky was just dark from the smoke. The trees behind the facility were on fire. The neighborhood behind the facility was on fire. And I mean, just imagine not being in control of your body and laying in a bed just watching the world burn down around you. I mean, that's terrifying.
Kim says her mom moved into Spokane Health and Rehabilitation 4 years ago after suffering a stroke. Earlier this year, she moved into hospice care at the facility after being diagnosed with a rare condition that left her colon paralyzed. But her daughter says she was stable and not in pain. That all changed when she was evacuated.
And it was in that process, that she had to go down this bumpy road with potholes and out of the parking lot, and that caused extreme pain for her. She just looked at me and said, "Honey, something is not right. Something is wrong." And we knew then that she had likely ruptured her bowel in that move.
Kim says her mom died 8 days later on August 9th. She was with her in her final moments.
And they took an x-ray and said that she had a perforated bowel. And she just languished in agony in the hospital for 5 days before she went unconscious and then passed away.
The death is the only fatality reported to authorities connected to the fires. A spokesperson with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office confirms they, along with the prosecutor's office, are now investigating to see if they can add charges to Aaron Farinacci, the man charged with starting the Old Trails fire.
Do you think Aaron Farinacci is to blame for your mom's death?
I do. I think that if it weren't for the arson and the fire being at my mom's building, she would still be laying in her bed laughing with her friends. I definitely think that he's responsible for what ultimately led to my mom dying.
Luna survived the Spokane complex fires, but she came out of them with severe burns to her paws. Her family is now asking the community for help as they plan her road to recovery.
Hi, you're a pretty girl, aren't you?
Her smile's the same each day, but the pain Luna's been in since the Spokane complex fires has made it harder for her to get happy.
She still has a little cough, but it's pretty much better now. That healed the fastest.
Her owner, Destiny Mertz, says Luna's paw pads were burned completely off after her family evacuated from the Old Trails fire, leaving her feet extremely fragile and requiring daily bandage changes and medication. She says Luna appeared to be trying to protect other dogs also on the property, 2 of which didn't survive the fire. Once Luna managed to escape herself, she collapsed.
Between the pain, the adrenaline of pushing through those severe burns to keep running, because she did not stop.
Once she got treatment, her family discovered Luna also needed a 3-hour emergency surgery after vets found a problem with her spleen and a mass in her uterus. Now she has weekly wound treatments, more procedures ahead, and follow-up care for the tumor that was removed.
She's just always been this very strong soul. Like, when I look at her, I see somebody that's very gentle and loving, and she has so much life in her.
Mertz has been caring for Luna, taking her to vet appointments, managing her medication, and watching her heal one day at a time. She says the vet bills are adding up, but community support has helped her keep caring for Luna. She says that support has made a difference not just financially, but emotionally after losing her late grandfather's belongings in the fire.
For me, this is like a new opportunity to find the positivity in it. I lost him, I lost his stuff now, but I have her.
For now, she says she's determined to give Luna the best care she can, saying it will never match the comfort Luna's already given to her.
She's like all of our motivation to just keep going and keep pushing forward and find the happiness. If she can be this strong, so can we.
As time goes on, Destiny says she hopes Luna becomes just as active as she was before the fires. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Well, if your home was either destroyed or damaged by these fires, the goal of these workshops is to help walk you through what those next steps will be like. And if you weren't able to attend today, here's what you missed.
Verify everything, sign nothing.
Words of advice for those on the long road to recovery. Resources like this workshop say they hope to answer questions and point those who need help into the right direction.
Everybody's claim is uniquely different, and so we want to be able to hear their story and help them as individuals as well.
For about an hour, David Fort and his colleague Jeff broke down everything to know about the insurance claims process. That includes the 4 major parts of an insurance contract. That's declarations, insuring clause or agreement, conditions, and exclusions.
Right now, it's be like drinking out of a fire hose. There's so much to understand, but the first thing is understand your additional living expenses.
That starting point will ultimately be what pays for your temporary housing and expenses as you plan your rebuild. David also recommends reaching out to your insurance company to get a complete understanding of how much is available for you.
When you go back to your home, take as many photos as you can. You can't take enough pictures. Document everything, send it to your insurer.
Later this week, the recording of this workshop will be available on insurance.wa.gov. And starting in September, the sessions will be held on the second Monday of each month at Spokane Falls Community College.
And we're going to be here as long as it takes. Right now, we're scheduled for over a year, but we'll be here as however long it takes to help people recover.
From Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
As we go to break, here's a check of your weekend forecast. Welcome back to the KREM 2 News Weekend Review. It's been a busy week across the Inland Northwest, and we want to help catch you up on some stories you might have missed.
Well, 4 gas pumps completely out of service. Crime scene tape still remains here on scene. And when you start to think about that combination of gas and fire, you realize just how serious things could have been here today at this gas station. Take a look at these photos from the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. They say around 3:20 a.m., a man paid for gas, sprayed it on the ground, and then started a fire.
To find out somebody actually did it, like they were actually trying to burn the gas station down, that was pretty shocking.
According to court documents, 51-year-old James F. Snyder admitted to starting the fire as an effort to get help from law enforcement after he, quote, believed 3 unknown people were following him that he could not see.
I stop here all the time to get my points.
For those who frequent the gas station, they're trying to make sense of the whole situation.
The pumps could have blown up and blown out this whole entire town.
At his first appearance, a Spokane judge set Snyder's bond at $25,000, citing a concern for community safety and a lengthy criminal record for Snyder that includes 39 prior convictions.
Especially fires right after the Spokane complex fire and during a burn ban are all highly dangerous.
The gas station estimates the damage left behind by the flames will cost them roughly $200,000.
You can't make the stuff up anymore because every week it's something like so astronomically chaotic.
From Meade, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Scorched earth and burnt tree trunks. That's all that's left after this first fire broke out near North Mineral Drive just west of Highway 95 in Coeur d'Alene. But just 20 minutes later, officials got the call saying that there was another fire on North Wheatfield Drive. Now, when they arrived on scene, they found one house completely engulfed in flames. As you can see, the house is completely destroyed. But the flames didn't just destroy that house. They also crossed over and destroyed this neighbor's house, making it unlivable as well.
There was, I heard a first kind of boom, and I smelt a little bit of smoke.
North Wheatfield Drive is quiet today after a weekend of sirens.
Honestly, I think we're just in utter shock.
Lisa Tatro and her neighbors were awakened Saturday morning after a house right across the street from them caught fire, leaving one home destroyed and another unlivable.
Yeah, this is actually our good friends. They just got married last Saturday. They moved into that home not even 2 months ago.
The couple who lives here did not want to go on camera, but they tell me that instead of making new memories in this space, they now face months of uncertainty. But the fire that displaced them isn't the only fire that happened in Coeur d'Alene over the weekend. Coeur d'Alene Police Department says another fire started just down the road. After investigating, officials say this specific fire has been ruled as arson. As for the house fire, officials are continuing to investigate how it started, but confirm that they believe the circumstances surrounding the incident are suspicious in nature. Tatro says the neighborhood is on edge given the lack of information at this point, but she says she's just glad that no one was hurt.
Our mindset, like this can be replaced. They can find a new home. We're just glad that our friends are okay.
In Coeur d'Alene, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Today, Spokane County Commissioners voted unanimously to put a pause on the development of data centers across the county for the time being. Now, the vote means the county's building and planning departments would stop accepting or processing applications for data centers while new rules are written. The county is defining a large load data center as one requiring at least 20 megawatts of electrical capacity. And for those larger facilities, the proposed rules would require developers to show they have enough power and water to operate, along with studies on noise, vibration, and water feasibility. If a large data center were proposed over one of the region's major aquifers, developers would face additional requirements, including groundwater monitoring, stormwater controls, and plans for managing potentially hazardous materials. The county says the goal is to balance the economic benefits of data centers, including jobs and property tax revenue, with concerns about their demands on power, water, and other natural resources. Now, during the meeting, County Commissioner Josh Kern says this is a positive first step and will be an ongoing process to see the best way to deal with data center developments moving forward. We managed to speak to a community member, Zenthia Peterson, who says they're concerned about the environmental impacts to folks countywide.
Certain energy restrictions, like how much energy a data center can use, is going to be really valuable, and noise restrictions for like when you're developing these, how much pollution can you put out, air pollution, water pollution, and sound pollution. These are going to be impacting all of our neighbors.
Prior to the action today, there was nothing around data centers in our county code. That first draft was to get something on the books.
I did speak with Commissioner Al French a few weeks ago on the topic of data centers, and he says environmental concerns are a big factor in how the county would go about implementing them as time goes on. Now, the pause is set to remain until December, but that could possibly change. County leaders also emphasize anyone with questions or concerns are encouraged to attend meetings and do their own research and come with any questions they might have in the future. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Thanks for joining KREM 2 News this weekend. I'm Cody Proctor. Right now, we're taking a look back at some of the news stories from the past week.
We have a spaghetti with some chicken and beans.
In downtown Spokane, the burners are hot. Isa Barella is running the kitchen.
In the 17 years I've been living in Spokane, this is the first time I see something like this.
The Spokane Complex fires, composed of 3 independent fires, sparked August 1st. The flames forced some 65,000 residents from their homes, drew firefighters from across the country, and by the time they were out, destroyed hundreds of homes, displacing thousands.
You know, like you're talking about 13 years of memories for me and my family, and you want to back it in an hour.
Maisa Abudeha, founder of Feast World Kitchen, evacuated with her family. Her home was spared. For nearly 2 weeks, she's opened her restaurant to anyone and everyone impacted by the wildfires at no cost.
For whoever know me, that's the moment I feel sad. I want to be in the kitchen and cooking food. This is the whole concept we create this restaurant.
This is not a normal restaurant. It's a nonprofit. Typically, a different immigrant or former refugee chef cooks each day, sharing dishes from their home country, with the majority of the profits going directly to that chef. Today, the generosity is going the other way, from the kitchen to the people in need.
You know, especially refugee and immigrants, most of them, they came from countries that has war and disasters. And I felt that in their hearts, there is flashback coming back to their heart and their eyes, and they don't want anyone to be in this situation.
For the chef du jour, it's giving back the best way she knows how.
I cannot give you a house, but I can give you a meal that will help you feel a little better.
If you take a look at some of the houses here near Westgate Park, you might think that the fire skipped over this neighborhood entirely, but that's unfortunately not the case for Pat and Brenda Konechny. Today, they returned home for the first time in over 2 weeks to this.
Get that one flipped over.
Burnt jewelry and pieces of porcelain china.
This is just stuff we got out. And that's what matters.
That's all that's left of Pat and Brenda Konechny's house of over 4 decades.
It's just memories that is all we can hold on to now.
Spending hours grieving what they lost as they face the reality of what needs to happen next.
Neighbors greeted us, we all hugged, we all cried. And then we got to work. Trying to find something, and there wasn't much to find here.
As families in these affected areas continue to clean what they can, the Environment Protection Agency is stepping in to help make sure no household hazardous materials have been left behind, clearing materials like paint, chemicals, and lithium batteries.
I think after today, I'm going to say it's good, but there's nothing here we really need.
Despite coming to the conclusion that life as they know it is over in Spokane, the Konechnys still managed to find a glimmer of hope inside the destruction.
Yeah, you can see the cross there. That was the first thing we kind of focused on when we came, was the cross. And then to us it was like, everything's gonna be okay. God has us in his hands.
Just as a reminder, the EPA is only here to clean up those hazardous materials. They're not going to clean up any sort of ash or burnt structures. For families starting the long road to recovery, the Spokane Region Long-Term Recovery Group has a website full of links that you can follow. In Spokane County, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News. You're watching the Week in Review, where we bring you some of the biggest news stories of the past week.
Last year was supposed to be a rebuild for the Bucks. Instead, they won a conference championship, and this season they have their sights set on history.
Last year we had to learn about ourselves a little bit, and I think this year we know who we are, we know what we're capable of. Can we get back there? So I think there's a little bit more confidence.
Of the large amount of returners this season, more than 20 of them are seniors, and they're embracing their role.
I always had the leadership role with the guys before me, like Josh Lawson, Talidi Adams, Chris Knutson, that's a coach here now, so they always led me the right direction. So I want to keep the standard going in the DB room of just leading it by example and just leading on and off the field.
Head coach Rod Sandberg says despite the high number of returning starters, fall camp is still a competition as the team sets their sights on big milestones.
We want to do something that's never been done in my time here. We want to win back-to-back Northwest Conference championships, and that's a huge mountain. We've got to take it one step at a time. We want a place that we want to get to. What is it going to take to get there?
Their other goal, be the first Whitworth team in history to make it past the second round of the NCAA playoffs. Regardless of what they achieve, they're confident in who they are and ready to put on a show.
I think they can expect dominant football. We're established, we know what we're doing, we know our jobs, and I have full faith in my guys and everyone around me.
Whitworth opens their season at home on September 5th in an exhibition game against Utah Islanders. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. At Whitworth University, Caitlin Galloway, KREM 2 Sports.
Keep it here for more news and weather updates throughout the weekend. And don't forget, you can watch our latest newscasts anytime on the KREM 2 app. Just scan the QR code on your screen to watch for free. I'm Cody Proctor. Thanks for watching the KREM 2 News Week in Review.